As promised, back out at the range today with the Canik MC9LS. Got the Fox Army FXV22 Pro mounted up here, still doing good. And I know some people have accused me in the past of trying to drag it out, all these 1,000 round reviews. I'm done with it. I'm over it, all of this other stuff. I did the same thing with the XD Mod 3. And I typically don't do that. You won't catch me doing it very often, but as mentioned already, there was a lot of controversy surrounding the original MC9 and the hatred that people seem to have for the Canik pistol. So I'm going to do it on this one. We are out to 500 rounds so far without incident. Well, we had the three in the one of the magazines. The first three times I filled the magazine up and had one in the pipe. We had this situation where the slide didn't come all the way back and eject the round, but it hasn't happened since then. But so basically flawless in 500 rounds. It has not been cleaned, has not been oiled. So instead of just doing 100 today, I'm gonna try my best to do 200 in this video to get it out to 700 rounds, and then I'll try to come back and do another 200 and do a final video of just 100. So without further ado, I'm going to shoot these two magazines, and then I'll just do a layover of just different angles, shooting and stuff until I get out to the last magazine, and we'll come back and talk about it, and we'll stop it if we have any issues. Man, this thing is fast and accurate, fast and accurate. So there you go. That's two magazines, 17 rounds apiece. Don't know what that math is. What is that, 34 or something like that? So either way, I want to address something that some people have been talking about in the comment section, giving people and other people that review this firearm a lot of grief because it's a Turkish made firearm, which is just silly to me because, the majority of the guns, if not all of the guns that most people have in their safe, either were made overseas or they have components in them that were made overseas. There's very few gun manufacturers left that everything in their firearm is made here in the States and assembled here in the States. I mean, you have Henry, maybe Ruger, um, Staccato maybe. Smith & Wesson, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if they farm out any of the parts in their gun. I'm not really sure. But it just seems silly to me in the firearm world that people would have such hatred for a gun and trash the gun itself because of where it's made. Now, if you don't like the country that it's made in, the fact is the gun still functions. I've never had a single issue with any Canik that I've ever owned, and I've owned every model that they have had. So for me, and I've also had some people say, oh, I sold all of my Caniks, they were garbage, they wouldn't malfunction, yada, yada, yada. I would think as many Caniks as I have bought up until now, which, as I've mentioned, have been a lot, over 20. And when Trey was doing the channel with me, he bought probably just as many because it was his favorite brand. So I would think out of 35, 40 firearms, if there was some type of a mass issue with the firearm, that I would have experienced it. Never, not one time. Some of the most accurate firearms that I have ever shot have some of the best, if not the best actually, striker fired trigger right out of the box. And I've had some people say, oh, we got it out to, 600, 800, 1,000 rounds. The build quality's no good. It's not like SIG and these other ones started falling and breaking and all this other stuff. I don't know if I'm on board with that either, because I have, as mentioned already, 18 or 20 Canik firearms. I've sold some of them. I probably currently only have a couple left, but I have to sell them to buy more for review. But I didn't sell them because I didn't like them, because I didn't want them. And on several of those, in fact, I have two in my safe right now that have, one of them is just shy of 1,800 rounds and one of them is just shy of 1,400 rounds. And I can't tell of any abnormal wear on the gun. I don't see there being any issue at all with the build quality. And then other people saying, well, for the money you pay and what you get, I'm not sure what that means either, because you get a nice carrying case with everything you need to go straight to the range right out of the box. You get all the tools, the punches, the back straps, all of the goodies, if you will, that come with a Canik pistol. So I don't know where all the hatred is coming from for the Canik brand, but I'm gonna shut up and get right to getting this thing 200 rounds through this thing today to get it out to 700. If we have any problems, I'll let you know about it. So counting what you saw at the beginning of the video, that was 170 rounds. I got 2 magazines loaded up with 15 rounds apiece. And I'm gonna go ahead and shoot one of them now, and then I'll shoot the last one after I talk a little bit about the gun. So 15 rounds away from 200, which will make a total of 700 rounds. And I assure you, I promise you, you can take it to the bank, cash the check. It was put through there in super rapid fashion. From the opening of this video until right now when I'm talking to you, about 19 minutes has passed. So about 19 minutes has passed. That's how fast I put that many rounds through this gun. It's not too hot to hold the slide. The slide is of course warm, but it's not overly hot like say the Fuse and some of the other guns that I have shot. It of course has been flawless, no lockback issues, no ejection issues, no issues of failure to feed. I am shooting today 124 grain. I believe it's pronounced Igman. And in fact, everything that I have that I've recently purchased was 124 grain because I got a really good price on it. But again, the Fox Army FX V22 Pro still doing really good. Hey, and if you like the shirt, Iron Infidel, they sent me this shirt to wear on camera. Very comfortable hoodie. They noticed that in the wintertime when I film, that's my go-to hoodie, sometimes hoodie and shorts and flip-flops, so they asked if I'd want to wear one of their shirts, and it's a very, very comfortable shirt, very good looking shirt if I might say, or maybe I just make it look good. I'm not really sure. Either way, I'll put a link up in the right-hand corner of the screen. You could click on, go over and pick you one up. And also they sent my wife some leggings, some pretty bad to the bone leggings, but she's not with me today, so I'm not going to be able to put those on. But I will put the link up to them, though, if you want to go over there and check those out. Either way, we got 15 rounds to get out to 200. As mentioned, I genuinely don't know where the hate comes from when it comes to Canik pistols. I mean, now, at one time, everyone was saying because they were made in Turkey and some beef they've got with Turkey in general, right? And then people kind of started to debunk that argument. You know, they're part of NATO. What's your beef with Turkey? Most of the shotguns manufacturers, CZ, Remington. If I'm not mistaken, someone told me Remington has farms out some of their shotguns from Turkey. I know CZ on some of their lower ends, like the Drake and some of their other lower end shotguns. They have a company in Turkey called Hulu that manufactures their shotguns for them to their specs or what have you. But either way, some people have called Turkey the shotgun capital of the world. Most of the semi-automatic mag-fed shotguns come from Turkey. So you start to debunk that a little bit, and what I've noticed is it's turned to these people that hate them so much, the same people that's almost hilarious, it's almost laughable. The same people that say, oh, supporting such and such country, one gun at a time, blah, 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 start talking about, after you try to start debunking that, they start talking about the failures and the piece of garbage when it got out to a certain round count that there's what, well, wait a minute, I thought you weren't buying Turkish guns. So it's just hypocritical, to say the least. If the gun works, I'm going to shoot the gun. I'm going to use the gun. Totally would carry this gun on my side. I don't have to put this many rounds through a gun without cleaning it to prove that it will get the job done. And I totally trust Canik. I wouldn't take any gun straight out of the box and carry it for self-defense, but if I had to, this would be on the list of one of the ones that I certainly would. So I don't know where the hatred comes from, but it's certainly there. Missed the last one. You believe that? Either way, there you go, folks. That's 200 rounds out to 700 rounds with the Canik MC9LS. No issues whatsoever. One of my wife's favorite guns of my recent new purchases. And again, gonna try to get out here tomorrow, maybe do another 100, get it out to 800, maybe do 200 and make it 9, and then do a final wrap-up video out to 1,000. I hope you really enjoy the content. I mean, I will, like I said, after the 1,000-round review, I'll break it down and go over some of the, you know, the slide material, some of the more in-depth specifications, if you will, rather than the features. I've already went over that in the original video. I invite you to go over and look at that. But I'll go over some lengths, heights, barrel material, guide rod, things of that nature. You know, some more in-depth stuff on the table. But I'm going to wait till I get it out to the 1,000 rounds first. So I hope you enjoy what you saw so far. If there's never been a time in your life when you realized you was a sinner in need of a Savior and you asked Christ to come into your heart and save you, if you can't remember that time, you don't know if you've accepted Him as your Savior, you don't know if you were to pass on today that you would go to heaven, please take care of that today. You can ask me in the comments section. Hit me up at gsquaredtactical@gmail.com, and let's get that handled today. For today is a day of salvation on this Sunday afternoon, Sunday shoot around, if you will. And also make sure you go over and check me out on Patreon. Consider supporting me, $5 a month over there. I know I ask every time, but it's really, really important for me to keep buying this expensive ammo. So go over there on Patreon, consider checking me out. I'm also over on Rumble. Hit the link in the screen for the Iron Infidel. They got all kinds of stuff over there, water bottles or water bottle carriers. All types of stuff over there. Go check the website out. I'll put a link up in the right-hand corner of the screen. Iron Infidel. Got some really nice attire. That's what I like. I'm not really an iron pumper, you know, if you can tell. And so, but I do like their attire. My wife really liked the leggings that they had. But check out Iron Infidel. And be sure you subscribe. And as always, to God be the glory.